And when we can activate that emotion or that state of being, that inherently raises our vibration, making us a magnetic attraction to all of the different things that we want. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin, and this channel is all about becoming the coolest person that you know to live an extraordinary life, and if you choose to do so, build an extraordinary business. And around here, we are all about manifesting your goals. I by no means am a manifestation expert. However, I do use manifestation to help me in the process of achieving everything it is that I desire to have in life. And this year, the year 2024, has been absolutely wild so far. I made a vision board, which is a manifestation tool that I really like to use. I made a vision board in January, and I feel like I wanted to sit down with you today and make a new vision board for two reasons. The first is, I made this vision board and I feel like I've kind of like changed my vibe, changed my style. If you watched my most recent video where I talked all about dressing like my Venus sign, I really changed the aesthetic of my life. And so my old vision board doesn't really match it anymore. But additionally to that, I have actually already ticked off so many different things, which I want to show you on this vision board. So I thought it was about time. It's the 1st of May, so I thought it was about time that I made a new vision board, and I wanted to do so with you, as well as just give you some tips and advice on manifestation. I love sharing advice on manifestation, considering the fact that I'm not a manifestation coach. There is still so much that I don't understand, and when I do share my experience with you, it's coming from a place where you are likely at yourself. Like, you know manifestation is real, you love to use it, but you just want a real person's experience with it. So this video is going to be a making my vision board as I tell you how I've manifested amazing things into my life. I just want to start by showing you my old vision board. So like I said, I don't necessarily like vibe with the style of this board anymore. It's very like pink, Y2K, and now I'm going more down this like sexy red era. However, one of the reasons why I wanted to make a new vision board, because I have already ticked off so many things on this vision board. Not all of it by any means, but I've ticked off a lot of stuff. So I started the year, and one of the biggest goals that I wanted to achieve was that I wanted to open my own content studio. I opened my own content studio in January, literally, like, I'm not even joking, a few weeks after I put this on my vision board. So that was absolutely mind-blowing. One of the other things that I wanted to achieve this year was I wanted to have a day where sales were just appearing on my phone one after the other, like in an overwhelming amount. And that happened. At the start of this year, I actually launched my BTCPIK toolkit, which I mention here a lot on my channel. It is a mini course and a Notion template all about helping you to become the coolest person you know. It's filled with journaling prompts, reprogramming tracks, exercises to help you change your self-concept so that you can actually manifest more into your life. And the day that I launched that, I will put a screenshot on the screen right now, but honestly, I just had sale after sale after sale coming through, so that was achieved. Another thing was I wanted to actually buy a new house/apartment for an investment property this year. And my partner and I literally just signed the contracts for that last week. That is actually my third property that I have purchased in 4 years, which is really exciting. And I did buy my dream car. So this is an Audi RSQ. Well, this is a Q8, but I bought a Q3, which is like a little baby Lamborghini Urus. I love it so much. It's so beautiful. And I did buy that this year. A big part of what I wanted to do this year was launch my product-based business. However, I am going to be kind of like putting that on the back burner because I'm getting so many different producer roles and so much is taking off with this studio. So anyway, I wanted to sit down with you today and I really wanted to just make a new vision board. So let's get into it. So one of the things that I swear to be true about manifestation, look, I don't know the science behind it, the philosophy behind it, but this is just something in my experience has worked every single time I can really master this state of being. And I have asked a few manifestation experts and they have to some degree confirmed that this to be true. I personally believe that we all have specific emotions that are extremely personalized to us that we can tap into that build momentum towards manifesting what it is that we want. So everyone's vibration. Like when it comes to manifestation, your vibration, being in the right vibration is the most important thing. You know, you hear teachers, books, all the things they always talk about. It's like tuning a radio. When you can tune to the frequency of the thing that you want, then you're going to be able to attract it, because like attracts like. Now, for such a long time, this actually really, really confused me, because I thought that outcomes, like the goals that I was trying to achieve, they had specific emotions. So I thought like being wealthy had a specific emotion, and being famous had a specific emotion, and being traveling had a specific emotion. And so I always thought that in order to attract those things, I had to figure out what the emotion of that thing was. Like, how did people who were famous feel? How did people who were rich feel? How did people who were traveling feel? So much so that I even asked one time to a manifestation coach, like, you know, if I want to be wealthy, do I have to figure out how wealthy people feel when they're eating? Literally, I asked that question. How ridiculous does that sound? But what I really realized is that each person's individual experience actually matters here. Like every single person is going to experience wealth, travel, fame, whatever it is that you want, love, relationships, friendships. We're all going to experience those things differently. And so what I realized was, rather than trying to like figure out, oh my God, when I'm rich, I'm going to feel like this exact thing, and then if I don't actually align with that emotion every single day, then it's not going to come my way. That's not true. I realized that I think we each have a certain emotion, or a certain state of being, I should say, that is like our most magnetic state. And when we can activate that emotion or that state of being, that inherently raises our vibration, making us a magnetic attraction to all of the different things that we want. Like one thing I really realized at the start of the year for me was that the emotion of excitement, when I am excited, when I'm feeling really excitable, not only do I obviously take a lot more action, it's just a state that I love to exist in, but that is when things really started to move for me. I came into this year feeling really excited because of the studio and because of all the different opportunities that it opened up for me. But that actually then, you know, I think we made like $100,000 in the first 6 weeks of the year. Like I obviously had that big sale with the BTCPIK toolkit. Like so much just moved so quickly in the beginning of the year because I was so in that state of excitement. And I'm going to be honest, for the last month, I've kind of been in a state of limbo because I'm waiting for a big trip that I'm doing. We can't really launch the studio until we get back for bookings and for our creative services. So it's been a little bit of a slower month. And I definitely have noticed that my manifestations haven't been coming as fast. And so I really do think that one of the things that you should be doing is figuring out like what your most magnetic emotion is. What's your state where you feel the highest vibration? For me, it's being excited. Maybe for you, it's being at peace. Maybe for you, it's being in love. Like when you're just, you know, there's people who walk around and they're like, I love the trees. I love this cafe. Like, you know, you're really in that state of like wonderment and excitement. But I personally do believe that there is an emotion or a range of emotions or a kind of state of being that each person can tap into the most powerful manifestations possible. I just finished cutting everything out and now I'm going to start assembling. I've actually opted for the cork board and thumbtacks this time because I thought it was way more just efficient if I do change my mind and if I switch things up with it, which I very much always do, than constantly having to glue things down and then make a new vision board when I change my mind about things. But anyway, something else that I think is really, really important when it comes to manifestation is, my gosh, you just have to be so ultra diligent on your thoughts. Like if you find yourself indulging in negative self-talk, in catastrophization, like if you allow yourself to indulge in those thoughts, like for example, maybe you're a business owner or a content creator and you put some content out onto the internet and like it doesn't perform well. If you indulge in that downward spiral of you thinking, well, this didn't work, so nothing's going to work, I'm a failure, and you do that over and over and over again, that is the biggest freaking block to your manifestation. Not only is it such a block to your manifestation, but as if you're going to want to take action from that state. So you're showing up in your life and in your business in a negative space. Even if you feel like on the surface, like I'm trying to be positive and I'm doing the right thing, like deep down, people can feel your energy. They can feel those emotions. And so you do have to be hyper diligent on constantly living in a state of optimism. You have to continuously feel like and have the faith that what it is that you desire to have is totally possible for you. Like something that I started doing this year was I started making lists called random possibilities. So every single time there was something that I wanted to achieve, but maybe it wasn't happening right now, I made a list of all the things that could randomly happen in order for my goal to come to fruition. I know manifestation says like don't focus on the how, but this is more like, oh my God, there are 250,000 different things that could happen right now that could grow my audience on social media, or that could call in opportunities, or that could make me more money. But if I'm so hyper focused and allowing my emotions to be dictated on like one specific action that I took, and when it doesn't work out, feeling really negative about that, like you're just going to keep yourself in this constant state of disbelief. So for this particular vision board, I've actually gone with the Amber Scholl method. I don't know if you know who she is. I just realized I have way too many pictures for the size of this board. But anyway, she always talks about when you do make a vision board, having a centralized theme. And for this particular vision board, my centralized theme is the year that changed everything. Look, in all honesty, pretty much every year that I've had for the last 5 years, everything has changed in my life. So much changes year on year. But I really just want this year to be the year that my like career changes. When I first started my business, like I was so excited to be like just sitting at home in my pajamas, dancing and, you know, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Like that was wild to me that I could literally just like sit there with my laptop, Will and Grace on in the background and have like a 10K payment come through. And in all honesty, that's not the career that I visualized myself having when I went to university, but it was mind blowing to me that that was possible. Now that I am getting a bit older and I've got the studio and I'm getting, you know, hired for so many more different jobs like producing, executive producing, I've kind of gone in the opposite direction. Like I really want this to be the year where like my career is a little bit more professional. Like I'm definitely wanting to like network more, partner more, get hired for a range of different jobs, like really build a community of creatives around me. Like even just having this studio is absolutely wild. Having an in-person business and all the things that come with that, like it's just, I'm really ready for a different kind of career. And I do feel very much like I'm starting again. And so that is actually like a big theme of this vision board. One thing I would even love to do myself is like, first of all, get more PR, like be featured in more Australian media, even get some like modeling jobs. I don't know why I'm like so embarrassed. I was saying that to one of my clients the other day. I was like, yeah, maybe I want to go for some like modeling things, but like, I don't know, not seriously. She's like, oh my God, you know, calling me out a little bit. So I was like definitely downplaying. She's like, that's an amazing goal and you need to claim that. I've just organized my images because I think I'm going to have to cull some of them, but I'm kind of going to walk you through the categories. But before I do that, another thing that I think is so important, and this is something that I've really been working on lately and I've learned absolutely to be true when it comes to manifestation, is you have to work on your nervous system and your subconscious mind. I recently did PSYCH-K. So that's a practice that works on removing blocks from your subconscious mind. I also am obsessed with doing subconscious reprogramming. Like I listen to audio tracks, Sapien Medicine, subconscious reprogramming tracks that I've created for myself almost every single day. And by the way, I have subconscious reprogramming tracks inside of my BTCPIK toolkit, which I'm actually going to be adding some more soon. So definitely check that out if you haven't grabbed it already. But I listen to subconscious reprogramming tracks all the time. And I think that is such a huge part of manifestation, because I did PSYCH-K the other day and I had one session and I already feel such a difference. Like I'm noticing my actions and how I'm taking different actions. I'm taking bold actions. I did a PSYCH-K session all about money and holding more money. And I can just already see myself like selling more, showing up more, setting bigger goals. And it really, really has made a big difference. And so when it comes to being able to manifest, if your nervous system and your subconscious brain don't feel safe for the goal that it is that you are trying to achieve, you're going to self-sabotage. And the sad thing about it is you probably won't even notice that you're self-sabotaging. It might just be taking the wrong action, saying the wrong thing on social media. You might still feel like you're moving forward and doing all the things, even doing the needle moving things, but it's not really the things that are going to move you towards the goal. You might miss opportunities, timing. And so you really have to reprogram your nervous system to feel safe for, let's say, fame, more money, a relationship, friendships, whatever the goal it is that you want, as well as removing any blocks to having that. You know, speaking of money, it's really, really funny because this year I am really wanting to manifest more money. I am one of those people that you would call asset rich and cash poor. Like pretty much my approach to wealth over the last few years, like I kind of mentioned at the beginning, is like make a bunch of money, buy a house, make a bunch of money, buy a house, make a bunch of money, buy a house, as well as go on like luxury travels. Like I spent $100,000 traveling around the world last year. But this year I'm ready to have like a lot of money. I actually worked on holding large amounts of money in my Psych K session. And so I have a little $750,000. I would love to have money in the bank. Like I do, of course, love like investing in real estate, and I love spending money. Don't get me wrong. Some of my vision board goals this year is to massively, massively, massively upgrade my wardrobe. But I definitely am wanting to just make more money in my business this year, as well as make more money for myself personally as like an investor and doing all these things. So having more money, having more cash available, building my net worth, building my cash is something I'm going to be focusing on. However, one thing I do want to manifest this year, speaking of real estate, is I want a view. Like that's all I want. I feel like I've achieved so much in my life. What I want this year is I want a view. It's really hard to find an apartment to live in that is also good for having a dog and a cat. And that's another thing on manifestation that I will say, God, I learned this so specifically this year and last year, is you have to know what it is that you want. Like, I know that's like the most basic manifestation advice of all time, but like get really clear on what it is that you want. Last year, I feel like I didn't really have any goals. I didn't have any specific intentions. I didn't really like think about what I wanted out of my life, my business. And even though I still had like an incredible year, like I said, I just traveled the world, and it was kind of one of those like rest on your laurels, like enjoy your success kind of years. But I really didn't feel at the end of the year like I moved forward, and I definitely didn't feel like I achieved anything. Like I wasn't proud of anything. I had a lot of fun, but I wasn't proud of anything. And so I think that in whatever method works for you, like you really, really need to, whether it's a vision board, whether it's constant journaling, whether it's whatever, like just find a way to kind of get specific on what it is that you want. But not just that, like don't just do a vision board and then kind of like put it away in the cupboard. Like the most important thing is to keep those goals, keep those visions at the forefront of your mind. Oh my gosh. And this is like another small thing, like visualization and using your words as spells. This is the part that I don't know how to explain to you, but goddamn, I know it works. When you really have discipline to kind of like visualize the person that you want to be, the life that you want to have, and build up a lot of emotion within that visualization and speak as though things are going to happen. Don't know the magic, don't know the science, know it has a lot to do with your vibration and your expectation and your assumption. That is really when the magic happens. I had an experience where I was reading the book, The Game of Life and How You Play It. And literally every night when I was reading this book, I would say a different random thing. One night I said, I'm going to receive a random text message from someone. Not even joking, someone from my high school days messaged me on TikTok the next day. Then I said, I'm going to receive a random sale. Not even a few hours later, I got a sale that came through on my website. I know these aren't like every single time you close your eyes and visualize something, it's going to happen straight away, but get like clear on what it is that you want and actually put devotion and energy and emotion and time and space into visualizing and experiencing those things. Because just kind of hoping your life will change, just kind of hoping that magical stuff is going to happen without knowing what things you want to happen, you're not going to move in the right direction, and the universe doesn't know what direction to move towards you either. And so getting clear on what it is that you want and constantly reminding yourself of those things, speaking about them happening. I don't believe in the whole like being totally delulu and acting as if, spending beyond your means and acting as if. I don't believe in that stuff. But I talk with certainty as if things are going to happen. I'm going to get a sale. I'm going to buy a new apartment. I'm going to buy a new car. And then I just start making moves in that direction. And it's like the universe and I kind of like meet each other halfway. One thing I really, really want to do this year is grow my friendships and networks. I just want to be surrounded by cool, creative people. Like that's it. Like I just want my days to be filled having amazing conversations, doing amazing things with cool, creative people. And I did put this like Studio 54 VIP invitation because I couldn't find any images that resonated with me, but this year I definitely want to be invited to like cool events. Like any brands out there that want to work with me and then invite me to some events, like, hello, I'm available and I am open. I just have a lot of images on here of like photo shoots and content shoots. I feel like that kind of like goes without saying. That's the direction we're taking the business in. But one big thing I definitely want to do this year is grow my YouTube channel, is focus on my YouTube channel. So look, I'm going to take this shameless opportunity to say like and subscribe because I would really appreciate that if you did that. Okay, I think that is pretty much my new vision board done. We got there in the end, trying to get everything onto the board, but it is really going to be a year of big change, the year that everything changed, the year that my career changed, my mindset changed, the way I view the world changed, the way I was showing up changed. Like, I'm just really excited for this year to be a year of change and a year of magical things to happen. So that is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you got something out of those rambly pieces of advice. I don't know. I would love to know from you, what's one thing that you are wanting to manifest this year? How is your year going so far? It is May. Are you on track? Are you behind? Either way, there is still time. I love you. If you want to reprogram yourself so that you can start manifesting amazing things, definitely jump into the BTCPIK Toolkit. It is all about self-concept. It is all about seeing yourself differently, because that really is such a big part of changing your vibration. So, I mean, it's not specifically for that, but it will help you to do that. The BTCPIK Toolkit is to make you feel fucking incredible so you go do awesome things in the world, like I'm about to do, because I have this new vision board. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video.